Hey everybody, welcome to the July 12th, 2022 edition of PW Torch Presents the Daily Newswire. I'm your host, Tyler Sage at Ring of Tyler. Very much appreciate you looking at my nose. Sorry about that. Joining me today to talk the news. So, not a super impactful news day, but that doesn't mean you should just walk away. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, all that good stuff. Big news yesterday, Zach covered it. Please watch that video if you haven't. But more news coming out on the McMahon stuff in the intermediate future. It didn't seem like it's coming out on Friday like it has the last couple of weeks, but seems like there's more news from the reporters at the Wall Street Journal, who have reported on that subject. So again, Zach covered that yesterday. Go watch that for more full detail. But I think that's still the number one story in wrestling, as it should be, right? So let's get to the other news, though. So AEW on Dynamite tomorrow, Wednesday, or whenever you're watching this, but on Wednesday, the 13th edition of Dynamite, day one of Fyter Fest, will be announcing details about the all out pay per view. So one would presume a date. I think it still says Labor Day. So, that Sunday, I think it's the 4th of September, if I'm not mistaken. Comment below if I'm right or wrong. And one would presume they'll confirm that, but it's the city, I think, that is interesting to like make a big announcement. It seems, if you're asking me, that if you do it in Chicago this year, it's almost, that's what, 1920, that's, well, not the pandemic year, but everyone that's been able to be outside of Jacksonville would have been in Chicago. All In, I think, now that ROH is owned by Tony Khan as well, is part of that. So this would be 4 out of 5 in Chicago, and it would have been 5 out of 5 if it is in fact in Chicago. So you're essentially confirming that it's always going to be here. And if you go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then which is crazy to think about, that this is like the 5th big Labor Day event in Chicago. But I'm rambling. Anyway, if you do it here, it's really signaling like it's always going to be in Chicago no matter what. And personally, I don't think that's the greatest idea, but I don't live in Chicago. If I lived in Chicago, I'd probably feel different. So I'm sure Zach feels different about that. But I think it's, and it's been loose on what is the biggest show. I think all 4 are treated of equal weight. And Double or Nothing always in Vegas, this always in Chicago. It just seems like you're uh, holding yourself on where these big events are, and I think it'd be better to, spread them out to other larger venues. I was obviously wrong, but I predicted it'd be at Arthur Ashe Stadium this year. That's going to be a Dynamite again, but interesting. So we'll see what happens. But big news there. I think not very newsworthy if they just announce they're going to be at the Allstate or United Center in Chicago, which they'll sell out in 5 minutes. But, if they get adventurous and do it, I don't know, maybe in Ryan Field, I don't know what the capacity is there where Northwestern plays football. If that can even be set up, I don't think they'll be doing Soldier Field, but a bigger venue, I think, is time for that. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. But thank you for bearing with me on that. I just think stuff like that's important. It's like if WrestleMania was always in Madison Square Garden and it was there to this day. Again, I don't work for any of these companies, but if I'm running a business, I'd much rather be doing, stadium shows if I can, than always doing the same city and a similar size venue for my premier event. But that's just me. So we got a couple matches added. As you're watching this, it is probably already happened, so you have a result. But I'm posting this a little later than usual. But we had Roxanne Perez is taking on Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship tonight. So just a meteoric rise. If you've been watching, if you're day one, appreciate you. You've known Roxy from Ring of Honor, and now Roxanne Perez in NXT. I've been flagging for you guys for a long time to be on the lookout. She's an insane talent and is, probably going to be a top woman for WWE for years to come. And it was a big miss by AEW not to scoop her up post Ring of Honor breaking up. So she will be taking on Mandy Rose. I do not think she'll win. I think it's probably a little quick to win the breakout tournament, to be tag team champions and then be the women's champion. So I'm sure there'll be some issue to set up a beef with the other members of Mandy's group as a result, but still a big vote of confidence vote of confidence, I should say, in Roxanne. So very exciting there. Also on Dynamite tomorrow night, again, July 13th, if you're watching this on July 13th today, TNT title match has been added. So Wardlow will be taking on Orange Cassidy, which I find to be super interesting to add that with essentially no build. Orange Cassidy's been on a run lately. Obviously, great match with Ospreay that he lost. But beyond that, he's been put over as a top, I have to go through the rankings. Mox is obviously one, but I mean, he's right up there, probably a top 3 babyface with all the injuries going on right now. I'd say even above Hangman Page from the way that he is portrayed. So to have him go against Wardlow, who might be in that same conversation as the number 2 babyface, and Cassidy being the number 3, interesting matchup from a booking standpoint, and to see if Wardlow will have a match with Cassidy that is more an Orange Cassidy match than a Wardlow match. I'm very intrigued. I think this is a big moment for Wardlow too. I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, are the fans going to side with one or the other? And is this the way to start Wardlow as a heel since he's made that journey and go from there? If it is, tickle me intrigued. But just be on the lookout. I think this is an interesting match to add kind of out of nowhere. There must be some plans afoot. So be on the lookout for that again. And then finally today, we've got Mick Foley signed a Legends contract with WWE. I think if this is 2 years ago, I don't think that happens. I think Tony Khan would bring in a guy like Mick for more money than probably Legends contract is getting him, and to having a role that is maybe not prominent like Paul White and Mark Henry. So yeah, I don't know his affection level for Mick Foley. I'd be surprised if it's not super high for Tony Khan, that is, for Mick Foley. So interesting to see kind of the shifting. I wonder if those contracts have scared him away from giving huge deals to guys that are not on TV a lot and can't really work in the ring. So just a different mindset that, where AEW is, different mindset wise. That's why I think, again, the announcement of All Out, where it's going to be, is interesting. I think that those are two things of a different mind, but still shows the growth, at least in, depends if it's positive or negative in your opinion, but shows the growth of Tony Khan and his ownership level and what he believes is important and what he wants to do tradition wise with that event and with people like Mick Foley. So that's all the news I got for you guys today. I appreciate you hanging out with me as always, and please like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff. Appreciate you, and I will see you